There's an alchemy secret that can change your life forever, but it's been hidden. What if I told you there's an invisible force that determines whether you'll be prosperous or live in scarcity, and that without realizing it, you might be using this force against yourself? The ancient alchemists knew the truth. Real transformation was never about metals. It was never about hidden laboratories. Real alchemy has always been about you. But before you understand this, there's one thing you need to know. You've been lied to about money. Since childhood, you were taught that money corrupts, that money is dirty, that only those who work themselves to exhaustion can prosper. And if you believe that, how do you think your energy reacts? Money, like everything in the universe, is energy. It's neither good nor bad. It simply reflects what you already are. If you vibrate in scarcity, it runs away. If you vibrate in fear, it becomes unstable in your life. But if you learn to transmute your energy, money comes as a consequence. Because a true alchemist doesn't chase gold. He becomes gold. And that is the greatest secret that has been hidden from you. Now, the question is, what are you vibrating at this moment? Because your current reality isn't random. It's an exact reflection of your frequency. And until you change on the inside, nothing will change on the outside. Now, choose. Keep vibrating in the lead of scarcity, or begin the transmutation process to the gold of abundance. The decision has always been yours. Most people were taught to believe they need to chase money. Since we were kids, we've heard things like, you have to work hard to make a living. Money doesn't grow on trees. Only the smartest get rich. These beliefs create a mental program where wealth seems external, distant, something that requires exhausting effort to achieve. But what if I told you that all of this is wrong? The ancient alchemists already knew that the universe operates through an energetic flow. Everything that exists vibrates at a certain frequency, and that frequency dictates what is attracted and what is repelled. Money is no exception. It's not a fixed object, it's energy in motion. It doesn't choose where to be, it simply flows where there's space for it. And here's the first big truth no one ever told you. Money isn't chased, money is attracted. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to have a natural ease when it comes to getting rich? That money flows to them effortlessly, while others work twice as hard and still remain stuck in the same cycle. This doesn't happen by luck, it happens because money behaves in two distinct ways, as magnetic energy or as electric energy. Magnetic energy attracts, it works like a magnet. Everything that aligns with it naturally comes closer. Electric energy pushes. It dissipates, scatters, and creates resistance. Money, by its very nature, is magnetic energy. It doesn't allow itself to be pushed. It doesn't obey those who try to force it. It simply responds to the energetic field it's placed in. And that's where most people go wrong. When someone chases money, they are, without realizing it, creating an energetic field of lack. If you believe you need to seek something, it means you don't have it. And if you don't have it, that's the vibration you're sending out. And the universe, which simply responds to the frequencies it receives, keeps reflecting that lack back to you. But when you understand that money needs to be attracted, not forced, you change the game. The true alchemists of life know this. They don't chase wealth. They become people who are compatible with wealth. They transform their internal energy, adjust their beliefs, and shape their thoughts and emotions to align with abundance. And when that happens, money comes, not as a pursuit, but as a natural result of the frequency they are emitting. Now, think about your life. What has your relationship with money been like so far? Are you trying to push it into your reality, or are you becoming magnetic to it? The universe doesn't respond to requests. It responds to your vibration, and it all starts within you. The code to wealth and purpose. But there's a detail that few people notice. Attracting wealth isn't just about adjusting your vibration. That's essential, but it's not enough, because money doesn't just come to those who think about it. It comes to those who become valuable. And this is where a concept that ancient alchemists already understood comes in, one that was brilliantly translated by the Japanese: Ikigai. Ikigai is the answer to one of humanity's biggest questions. Why are you here? The true alchemists weren't just looking for gold. They were searching for the meaning of existence, the reason for living, the thing that would make life truly meaningful. They knew that real wealth wasn't just a pile of accumulated coins, but the impact one leaves on the world. In Japan, this pursuit has a name, Ikigai. It's the convergence of 4 elements. What you love to do, what you're good at, what the world needs. What can bring you wealth? When you find this balance, you become a true magnet for prosperity. Because wealth was never about money. Wealth is about value. And when you become valuable to the world, money comes as a consequence. Now, think about this. How many people spend years doing something they hate just because they were taught it's safe? How many go through life trying to make money any way they can without ever asking if it truly makes sense for them? The result is always the same: frustration, exhaustion, an empty feeling inside. This happens because they haven't found their Ikigai. They're operating on autopilot, driven by necessity and fear, instead of passion and purpose. And you know what's most interesting? Those who discover their Ikigai don't have to chase money. It flows naturally because what you love to do, what you're great at, and what's useful to the world inevitably turns into a channel for prosperity. The most successful people in the world didn't get where they are because they chased money. They got there because they found something that made them wake up every day excited to keep going. And here's the secret. When you do something meaningful, your energy shifts. Have you ever noticed that some people just radiate passion for what they do? That when they talk about their work, their eyes light up? Those people are connected to their Ikigai. They vibrate at a different frequency, and that vibration creates impact. And where there's impact, there's prosperity. Now stop and look at your life. Is what you're doing today aligned with your Ikigai? Are you building something that truly makes sense for you, or just following a script someone else gave you? The ancient alchemists used to say that the philosopher's stone wasn't a physical object, but a state of consciousness. When you find your purpose, your true path, everything around you begins to transform. The gold you've been searching for on the outside starts to manifest within, and when that happens, money stops being a concern. It becomes nothing more than a reflection of what you already are. But here's the detail that few people notice. Finding your Ikigai doesn't mean you have to go out into the world searching for something external. On the contrary, the answer has always been closer than you think. And that's exactly what the story of Santiago, the protagonist of The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, is about. Santiago was a young shepherd who dreamed of treasure. One day, he has a recurring dream, a vision that convinces him there is a hidden treasure buried far away in a distant and unknown place. Without hesitation, he decides to leave everything behind and set out in search of this promised wealth. He leaves his homeland, his routine, and embarks on a journey full of challenges. He crosses deserts, meets masters, faces trials, and uncovers life's hidden secrets. But at the end of his long quest, after becoming someone completely different from the naive young man who first set out, he realizes a shocking truth. The treasure he had been searching for was always right where he started. This story isn't just a fictional tale, it's a metaphor for life. Most people believe that prosperity is something outside of them, that they need to chase something grand, find a hidden secret, a miracle method, a shortcut that will lead them to success. But the reality is different. The true treasure was never outside. It was always within. And that's the biggest mistake in the pursuit of wealth. As long as you believe that the key to money, abundance, and fulfillment is outside of you, you'll be stuck chasing something that will never be enough. That's why so many people live in frustration. They run endlessly, desperately seek opportunities, try magic formulas, but still feel empty because they're looking in the wrong place. The question was never, how do I make money? But rather, how do I become someone who naturally attracts prosperity? Santiago didn't return home empty-handed. He returned transformed, because throughout his journey, he learned that the real gold wasn't what he was searching for, it was who he became along the way. And that's how it works in life. If you want prosperity, you shouldn't chase money. You should focus on becoming a person who vibrates at the frequency of prosperity. Your external reality is a mirror of your internal state. Money, abundance, and opportunities aren't things you find. They're things you attract when you're ready to receive them. And if you haven't found the treasure you're looking for yet, maybe it's because you still need to look within. The difference between scarcity and prosperity is your frequency. The problem with most people is that they don't want the journey. They don't want the transformation. They just want the treasure, the prize, the result. They want to skip the process and wake up rich overnight. And that's exactly where the biggest mistake lies. Modern society sells the illusion of instant success. Every day, we're bombarded with stories of people who became millionaires out of nowhere, who went viral, who made a fortune in no time. And without realizing it, we start believing that this is the only way to prosper, that if it's not fast, it's not worth it. But that's the big trap. A true alchemist knows that any wealth that comes fast and without structure tends to disappear just as quickly. Lower energies might bring money immediately. You might get lucky, make a lot all of a sudden, take a risky bet that gives you a quick return. But if your foundation isn't solid, if your mind is still trapped in scarcity, everything that came fast will leave just as fast. That's why so many people who suddenly make large sums end up losing it all shortly after, because they weren't prepared to sustain it. Without internal structure, without awareness, without balance, money slips away. The real secret isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about becoming someone who can maintain wealth. And for that, you need to learn how to operate with higher energies. Higher energies don't bring instant gratification, but they work at the right time. They build slowly, but they build unshakably. While lower energies seduce with the promise of immediate pleasure, higher energies demand patience, commitment, and discipline. They don't give everything at once. They test, they shape, they refine. That's why the greatest empire builders, the true alchemists of real life, never looked for shortcuts. They weren't just focused on having. They were focused on becoming. And that's the difference between those who truly prosper and those who only have fleeting moments of wealth. True financial, emotional, and spiritual stability only happens for those who understand that everything in life follows a flow, a rhythm. Just like a great castle isn't built overnight, your prosperity also needs to be built on a strong foundation, and that foundation is within you. Because in the end, it all comes down to one simple principle. You attract what you already are. Every thought you have, every emotion you carry, creates an electromagnetic field around you. That field is like a magnet. It pulls into your reality everything that vibrates at the same frequency. If you vibrate in scarcity, your life will reflect that. You might even try to make more money, but there will always be an unexpected expense, a problem, a situation that brings you back to square one. If you vibrate in fear, you'll attract more situations that confirm that fear. If you vibrate in doubt, you'll be surrounded by uncertainty. But when you change your frequency, your reality changes with you. When you step into an internal state of abundance, your mind starts to notice opportunities that you previously overlooked. Your energetic field attracts people, connections, and situations that take you to the next level. And no, this isn't magic. This is the very structure of reality. Most people believe that things happen by chance, that life is just a random game. But the ancient alchemists knew the truth. The external world is just a reflection of the internal world. If you want to change your life, there's no point in focusing on the external. You need to transmute your internal energy. Because real alchemy was never about turning lead into gold. It was always about turning consciousness into power. And when you understand that, the game changes completely. But here's something you may have never stopped to think about. The idea that you have to suffer to achieve something was planted in you from an early age. You were taught that only those who sacrifice themselves deserve success, that only those who work themselves to exhaustion achieve wealth, that happiness and prosperity can't go hand in hand. But that's just mental programming. A true alchemist knows that suffering is not a prerequisite for success. Quite the opposite. If you look at the most successful people, you'll see that they don't just thrive financially, they love what they do. They live in a state of flow. where work and pleasure become one. You know why? Because those who find their Ikigai understand that prosperity and well-being are not opposites. They don't need to give up their happiness to achieve something. They understand that energetic alignment is the key. If money is just energy, as we've seen before, then the way you feel while pursuing it directly influences how it comes to you. If you believe you need to suffer to be successful, your mind will create difficult paths. You will sabotage yourself. You will create invisible obstacles. But if you understand that prosperity can come with ease, your journey will be completely different. Those who operate at the higher frequencies of alchemy know that success doesn't mean pain. It means expansion. It means finding a path where effort is no longer sacrifice, but a natural expression of your being. The big question is, do you truly believe you deserve to prosper without suffering? Or do you still carry the belief that you need to pay a high price for it? Because whatever you believe will manifest, and everything has its right time to happen. The ancient alchemists knew this. They understood that everything in life follows a rhythm, that just as a fruit doesn't ripen before its time, wealth also needs its own time to mature. But this is another mistake of our modern society. We live in the age of hurry, of instant gratification. We want everything now without waiting. If something doesn't work out immediately, we give up. If we don't see progress in the first month, we start doubting the process. But this is where most people fail, because those who connect with higher energies know how to wait. The alchemical journey teaches that every step of the way is essential, that every experience, every lesson, every challenge is building the foundation so that what you desire can manifest in a solid way. That's why so many people quit halfway through. They don't realize that the process has already begun, that changes are happening, even if they aren't visible yet. Real growth is invisible at first, but it's there. A seed buried in the soil doesn't show signs of life in the first few days, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Beneath the surface, in the unseen, the roots are expanding, the foundation is being created, and then, one day, out of nowhere, it breaks through the surface. But that never happens for those who give up too soon. Now, look at your life. Could it be that what you want is already in the process of growing, but you just haven't noticed yet? Could your impatience be stopping you from trusting the alchemy of time? The answer is already within you. Practice for prosperity, the transmutation technique. There's a detail that few people notice. Waiting only becomes unbearable for those who can't see their own growth, for those who are stuck in the external world, trying to measure progress only by what they can see and touch. But real transformation always happens in the invisible first. Everything that exists was created twice, first in the mind, then in the physical world. Every great masterpiece, every revolutionary invention, every financial empire started as a thought, as a vision that didn't yet exist in the material world, but was already real in the mind of its creator. And prosperity is no different. Most people make the same mistake. They imagine what they want to have, but not who they need to become. They want wealth, but still see themselves as stuck in scarcity. They want financial freedom, but still carry fear, insecurity, and doubt inside. The universe doesn't respond to desire, it responds to frequency. If you want a new reality, you first need to feel that reality within yourself. You need to close your eyes and see yourself there. Feel abundance flowing through your veins before it even shows up in the physical world. Feel free before freedom comes. Feel prosperous before the money appears, because when your mind accepts this new reality as truth, your body responds, your energy field shifts, your behavior changes, and when you change, your reality has no choice but to change too. This is the foundation of the alchemy of creation. And now that you understand this, let's get to the most important part: how to turn this wisdom into action. Alchemy isn't theory, it's experience. And for prosperity to manifest in your life, you need to start acting like someone who already has it. Here's a simple but powerful technique to transmute your energy and attract wealth naturally. Grab a piece of paper and write, "Who do I need to become so that wealth finds me naturally?" Don't write about what you want to have, but about who you will be when that reality is already yours. Close your eyes and visualize this version of yourself. How does this person behave? How do they think? How do they feel when they wake up in the morning? What do they do differently? Feel that energy inside you. Don't just imagine it, feel it. Let your body experience this new frequency. Repeat daily, I am the source of my wealth. My prosperity grows because I grow. Words are commands to the subconscious, and when repeated with conviction, they reprogram your mind. Act like this version of yourself now. Don't wait for the money to arrive to feel prosperous. Don't wait for success to start behaving like someone successful. Be that person now, because true transmutation happens when your internal world aligns with the reality you want. And when that happens, the external world has no choice but to bow to your new vibration. Before you go, there's something really important waiting for you. I've prepared a special video for you to take the next step on this journey. A deep dive into everything we've talked about here, showing you exactly how to apply this knowledge in a real and practical way. So don't leave just yet. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now, and I'll meet you there. See you on the other side.